everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy at Attic Treasures, etc. And I was just playing around and I made these cute little photo booth strips, and I thought it would be fun to make a few together with you. So why don't you join me as I show you how I made these. Now you might be wondering where I got these photos, and it was very simple. I found at Goodwill this 1947 yearbook, and in it is a ton of different photos that you can use. And what I did is I cut out 4 with a square punch that I'll show you, and now I can use the cutout portion, if you can see that, as a template. And I found this picture here. I'm standing up so that I can make sure that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just laying the little squares, the cutout squares, over the faces to see if they're going to work for the photo booth. And they will. So I'm going to tear this page out. And you can even use ones from like the, like this one here that I used from their, you know, like their senior photos and stuff like that. And they work really well too. So let me just go ahead and tear this out. So this is from the University of Arizona, 1947. It has so many interesting and cool pictures in it. So many interesting pictures. So what I need to do first is kind of reduce the space here so that I can make sure that my punch will reach in there. And then I found this square punch at Goodwill, and whenever I buy a punch from a place like that, a secondhand punch, I try to make sure that it works. So I'll try to, you know, have some paper with me or whatever, because I've bought punches before that ended up not working very well. Okay, so I'm just gonna punch his head out here. There's one. 2. And now I will cut this down so that the punch can get in there. So I was just playing with this process while I was watching TV a little bit earlier. I don't know, the idea just sort of came to me. And I thought, well, you know, I know that Tim Holtz sells these photo booth strips, but I thought, you know, I bet you I have enough photos from the yearbook that I can use to make this process really easy. Okay, so I think, do I want to do a strip of 4 or a strip of 3? I think on this one I'll do a strip of 4 since they were all sort of together. So I'm just going to cut a strip of white cardstock. Make sure I'm still in frame here. And I'm just going to kind of lay these out the way I would want them on the cardstock. Okay, so this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6.5, and then that will give me a nice border on each end. Oh, and about 2 inches wide. So 6.5 by 2 inches. I'm going to get out my cutter here. And you know, you can use these, you can make these any size you want. And now I just need, whoops, I just need some white cardstock. So I'm going to get out my binder here that I have all my scraps in, and white is in the back. I'm just going to pull out my piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to cut 6.5 by 2 inches, right? Okay, well, first of all, let's cut the 2 inches. Just make sure. And I can always cut it down. Yeah, actually that works. That looks about right. I can cut it down after the fact too if I think it's too wide. It's better to be a little bit on the wide side than on the narrow side. Okay. Now I think I would like to distress the cardstock a little bit. Let's see which one was 6.5. I think the longer one was 6.5. So I'm just going to take some vintage photo and just distress the edges and a little bit in the middle, and then I'm going to spray it with a little bit of water just to get the ink moving around. And I'm going to do both sides just in case I want to make it a journal card or something like that. So my husband is going to be putting the very finishing touches on the painting of the kitchen project, which has been kind of a long time in the making. So it'll be it'll be nice to get that all done. He's just going to be doing the trim around the backsplash. Okay, I'm going to dry this off, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to take these little pictures now, and I'm going to use some black soot to just ink up the edges on them. And I like to get the corners a little bit, look a little bit older, a little more photo boothy, I guess, if you kind of halo the corners a little bit. And I really like the sheen, I guess, on these pages, because it's not like high gloss, but it's not matte either. So they show up really well. So I looked up to see if there were any famous people that went to this school, University of Arizona, and Linda Ronstadt did, of course, way after 1947. I think she was born in 1946. She is one of my all-time favorite female vocalists. Love, love, love her music. And it's just so sad. She has is it Parkinson's disease? So of course she doesn't perform anymore. But she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She was an amazing performer. I had the opportunity to see her in concert a couple of times back in the 70s, and she was just amazing. There was a venue called Day on the Green at the Oakland Coliseum in California. And they would have concerts in the summer, and they would have several bands. It'd be like an all-day thing. And they would have several big name bands that would play, and it was really inexpensive to get tickets. And so that was where I saw most of, the really great bands perform. And at this one performance, she was on the ticket, but also the Eagles were on the ticket as well. And when the Eagles came out and sang Desperado, she sang lead. And it was quite amazing. Okay, so now I want to have these glued on here, and just to make it easy, I'm going to use my Xyron, and I have several sizes of Xyron. This one I'm going to use my 5-inch Creative Station, because I think I can get them, well, at least 3 of them in here all at once. And then I'll just put her through the little 1.5 inch sticker maker. All right, now, again, this is like the easiest project in the world. And just a lot of fun. So I'm just going to start spacing them sort of evenly, making sure that I have enough room, you know, just so that it's evenly spaced on there, even border. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to take my black watercolor pencil and I'm just going to start coloring around the edges. And it doesn't have to be, you know, you're not aiming for perfection because you want it to look kind of vintage. So anyway, Linda Ronstadt was one that went to this college, and oh, who else? Geraldo Rivera. Who else? I think David Spade, Barry Goldwater. Oh, who else? I can't remember who else I saw. I didn't find any of their names though in the book. I think the only one, of course, I would have been able to find would have been Barry Goldwater, but I didn't find his name either. And I couldn't really find anything on the internet as to when he went here. It doesn't matter. I just thought it would be kind of interesting. Okay, I'm going to take my water pen. Kind of activate the pencil. If you look at the Tim Holtz ones, the edges on the photos are really irregular. Kind of wonder where all these people are now. Okay, I'm going to dry these off. Be right back. Okay, now I'm just going to ink up the edges with black soot. So that one looks really old and weathered. I'm going to get another piece of cardstock that doesn't have as much of a texture on it. Okay, so I have a piece of heavyweight matte paper, and I'm going to try this one now and see if I like the results a little bit better. So I'm going to cut it at 5 inches and 2 inches. So let's ink up the edges on these guys. I'll just put these through my little sticker maker. And just a little bit of shading. Okay, so here we have some super easy, super quick, and really grungy looking, old vintagey looking photo booth strips that we can use in our junk journals. Super fun. And if you don't have a yearbook to get pictures from, don't worry. You can look in magazines and on old photographs that you can scan. A lot of times you can find old photographs at secondhand stores or estate sales or garage sales, especially estate sales, and scan them, and then you can use the pictures for projects like this. So again, super fun project. You don't have to make them this grungy if you don't want to. You just use your imagination. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I sure appreciate each and every one of you, and always let the serendipity find you. So have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.